And some of these people, I mean, it's pretty clear like this person's dying, right? Like they're not getting better. And I actually talked to a guy who was in the hospital with me. He left and came back, and I was talking to him, and he was walking around, and I go, well, you're coming back? And he said, well, I'm going to get a T-cell transplant. And he said, because the doctor said if I do that, I can live 3 more months.
Wow.
And I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, well, I want to go to the beach one more time and sit on the back porch with my dogs. You know, that's the thing about it is you think these people that have a couple of months, you know, like they want to go to Disney World, and no, they don't. You know, they just want to chill and just take it all in. I mean, there's a lesson in that, right? To, you know, that some of the best, sweetest stuff is really just basic, you know, like being around people that you love, you know, and trying to help the people that you love, and maybe even help people that are strangers to you. Like that's, you know, when people have a little bit of time, that's kind of what they want to do. You know, you get really clear about, you know, what's important. You know, you don't need to be entertained. You know, you don't need to be wild or dazzled. You know, like this guy says, I want to sit on my back porch with my dogs.
It's absolutely incredible how we look at a human being who is in its first 3 months and we awe at it. And we look at it with so much joy and enthusiasm and excitement. But that guy who wants to just sit on the back porch one more time, that is that baby in its first 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's just some time has gone by, but we don't have that same reaction. We don't have that same reaction, but we understand like there's so much power in being human. I think is the thing that is connecting both of them for me. We understand at the beginning and at the end, wow, this is magical. This whole ride that we're on, that we get to experience and appreciate with one another.
Yeah.
And in the middle is where we often forget it.
Yeah. I think the other thing is if you're fortunate enough to get a glimpse of what it is that you're really passionate about, what's really important, if you don't pursue that, you will pay a huge price, and it will be your own, you know, misery and suffering. And because here's the deal. I mean, you can fail doing something that you love, and you can fail doing something you don't love, right? So given that, I mean, you can die doing something you love, and you can die doing something you hate. So, you know, and you don't want to live with a regret, right? And so when you look at the research of, you know, people in retirement homes, and, you know, what are the you know, the regrets, you know, one of the top ones is always, you know, I didn't really do what I wanted to do. I did what other people told me I should do, right? You know, I didn't have my own, you know, conviction of my own will. You know, I did what I was told I was supposed to do. Then it's, you know, it's terrible. I mean, that's one thing I can say is I've pretty much, you know, my adult life and my career, I've done stuff that I wanted to do that I was really passionate about. And I know that a lot of people, you know, weren't able to create that for themselves. But I think if you live your life that way, you don't run the risk of having a lot of regret. You still are going to be challenged, okay, and you're still going to get your ass beat, and there's going to still be pain and suffering. But when you choose it, right, because you're pursuing something you want to, it's different than if you feel like it's being placed upon you.
If you enjoyed this clip, watch the full episode right over here, and don't forget to subscribe.